Man, man, oh man. Is anybody out there yet? Could just be me for now. Kind of just went live impromptu because it's the morning. I've just woken up and I've got some fixing to do. This is what I sound like in the mornings, by the way. So it's something. What do we got? Does this matter? Does this matter? I don't know. Okay. Might as well ping everyone in the Discord. I think the streams guy will. Oh, last week's didn't. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and do stream URL. Is that what we want? Does that take me to the actual viewable stream? It does not. That's not what we want, is it? Share. This guy. Yep. Okay. Do I need glasses this close up? Not really. I need some water though, that's for sure. Okay. I think the one concurrent viewers is me. We recommend that you use stream's current bitrate. It's messing my settings have been messed with again. Hey Michael. Hey Robert, how's it going? Good morning. Just doing some fixing up before things get going, but basically the game plan is to do some fixing of the stream, or not the stream, the my Kubernetes cluster. Uh, One of the silly things about this is I know I'm gonna have to fix this again later. Why is my bitrate why is my bitrate so low? That's not let's go ahead and set that to sure. Oh, you know what? Let's just use almost exactly what YouTube recommends. Hyperbolt, hey, morning. I watched your YouTube video on this. Good timing. Yeah. You know, I had family members reach out to me. I find this hilarious. I mean, very sweet, but I had family members reach out and be like, "Are you good? Is everything okay?" Yeah, it's just my home lab, guys. Like, I appreciate that, but everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. I've got, I think, let's make sure we're on the right cam. There we go. Um, I think my NAS works. If we go here, right? Yeah, we these seem to be working. Let's go ahead through that. Yeah, we're all good on the NAS. That's great. Its IP got shifted, but that's a pretty easy fix. Like if we do a little sudo vim slash etsy fs tab, right? Um, then we just adjust the IP here. Obviously, as I mentioned in the video, one of the things that we'll want to be doing is moving to host names here. Um, once, you know, once I have control over that, I did get something pretty cool. What the? That's old school. Okay, cool. Um, I got I got a very nice little firewall device, firewall router guy. So first off, this company, this company has been really cool. So I was looking for a router device, something I could install open sense on, right? Because that's what all the cool kids do. I guess there's also PF Sense. I I don't know why I chose OpenSense over pfSense. I think probably because Plus talked about OpenSense and OpenSense is in the name. Like it's open. So I was like, oh, it's probably open source. Cool. Right? Right? that's why I went with it. Actually, I'm curious. Is OpenSense based on OpenBSD? OpenSense. Because okay, it is FreeBSD. Yeah, because pfSense is FreeBSD. I know that much. Just like yeah, just like OpenAI, closed AI. Um, yeah. So I because I know OpenBSD is really common among networking nerds. I say nerd as lovingly as possible. That's a term of endearment when I say it. Um, so, anyways, I know OpenBSD is like a big thing amongst networking folks, and I was kind of hoping that OpenSense would be based on OpenBSD, just because I've never touched OpenBSD. But on the other hand, I have actually used FreeBSD before, so I will have a little bit more familiarity with this. So that's probably for the for the best. Hmm. Okay, cool. Anyways, OpenSense, and I wanted to run it on a device. So I checked out this company called Protectly. Well, BSD. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I think it's cool to use a little BSD in your network. You know what I mean? Like people talk about like, oh, the three big operating systems, and they mean like Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, right? I'm like, no, but no, hold on, guys, hold on. There are a bunch of BSDs, and they're all very useful in their own way, and we should be including these. We should be talking about four major operating systems. Because yeah, I'm not gonna include a bunch of closed source Unixes from the 90s. Does BSD stand for something? Yeah, Berkeley Software Distribution, I think. Um, it's from basically what happened in the history. Oh, let's do a little history lesson. You know, streaming in the mornings is fun. So basically, what happened with first off, I'm just gonna warn you guys. I'm gonna be going way slower. I haven't had my coffee yet, so this is gonna be a very slow, chill stream. I'm not gonna be my like upbeat, fast self from like the Thursday streams. So okay, Unix. Basically, Bell Labs plops out C and Unix like back to back. I think also X11 or the X windowing system, whatever version it is, and the modern TCP/IP stack. So basically, they invented normal modern computing all at once, which is insane to me. Um, and then they hand out some of the code for Unix to some fellow researchers at Berkeley, and Berkeley builds out their own distribution of Unix, the Berkeley software distribution. I think it's software. I'm not sure. BSD. What's the S stand for? Michael says, doesn't BSD have better support for ZFS than Linux? Yes, it does. It is Berkeley software distribution. Sweet. Yeah. I'll get to that right after. By the way, if you want a better told version of this story, you should check out DJ Ware. I frequently recommend this guy's YouTube channel. We need a picture of this guy. He's like the definition of graybeard, and it's awesome. He's just there. We go. The untold story.
Today,
Just listen to this guy's video. But anyways, back to me telling a version of this guy's video. He'll also tell it more accurately. Okay. So Berkeley gets access to some of the code. They write their own distribution of Unix, and then Bell sues them when they try to distribute it under the BSD license. I think it's BSD. Yeah, BSD license, which basically says, hey, Unix, this thing that was developed by a company, and then they took some of the source code and then and sort of spun out their own version. We're going to be distributing that for free for people to hack on. And Bell went, no, you're not. That is proprietary. We built that. And Berkeley went, okay. And so they were in this like lawsuit for a while. They spun out, all sorts of nonsense. And so during the lawsuit, my understanding is that a bunch of folks, this is when BSD splinters into like FreeBSD, NetBSD, and OpenBSD. They sort of develop these BSDs, replacing all of the code that they got with new code so that they could say like, okay, this is all new code. You can't sue us for this. While that's happening, That's when Linus Torvalds builds Linux, because there's no free Unix to use. So he builds his own, or no readily available free Unix to use. So yeah, anyways, that's my understanding of the story. It's kind of fun. And yes, doesn't BSD have better support for ZFS than Linux because of licensing issues? That's true. So the free BSD people make fun of Linux people all the time, because they're like, oh, look at these guys, they don't even have ZFS. And they're like deeply embedded with ZFS. Like, it is very much the norm to run, my understanding, and I could be wrong. You watched my YouTube video about how my home lab blew up. I'm not an expert. But anyways, my understanding is it's fairly common to have your root on ZFS, and definitely at very least your home on ZFS. So it's very much like a ZFS native platform, which is really cool. And I think it's kind of what Linux is moving towards with ButterFS. Although ButterFS, like these copy on write file systems, break your intuitions about how file systems work, because we're so used to journaling file systems, where it's like normal, like if you run out of space on your drive and then you delete some stuff, you have freed up space. But in a copy on write file system with existing snapshots, that's not how it works. You have to clear out old snapshots and things. And it's just, I'm using ButterFS because that's the default on Omarchy, and it has confused me. Okay. Anyways, that's that was story time. What am I up to now? Let's go back here. Oh, this is look at, hey everybody, 11 concurrent viewers for a Saturday morning stream. Very cool. Anyways, where was I? I was talking about OpenSense and the device I bought. So I got this thing. I was looking for mini PCs that could act as my router, and I found this company. I have set up my NixOS with ButterFS and Lux encryption. Yeah, that's a very common like modern Linux configuration. I try not to set up my main operating system with more than one technology that is new to me at a time. So this is, okay, let's talk about principles. By the way, that's very cool, and I'm not bashing you at all for your setup. Your setup sounds awesome. I came up with a principle for deciding on what software I would run a while ago after overwhelming myself with newness too many times. So my rule for the last couple of years is, if I'm building a system that I'm going to use every day, I get to use one new piece of software that I haven't used in the past. And by that, I mean like foundational, right? So that's like, if I've used only X windowing system software in the past, then I can move to Wayland, but I can't move to Wayland and install Lux encryption and move to ButterFS all at once, right? Because I know how XT4 works, kind of, right? I know how to use XT4. I wouldn't call myself like an administrator or an engineer of XT4, but I know how it works, right? For day-to-day use, but I don't know how ButterFS works. So yeah, I try to navigate and migrate one piece at a time, because then when something goes wrong, you can more or less know that it's the new piece. You didn't understand how the new piece worked, and that's why your thing is broken. And that helps me a lot. I'm going to steal that. What do we got? ButterFS is default on Fedora, by the way. Yeah. I've been seeing ButterFS as a default a lot lately, and I don't know if Linux users are ready for this. I don't know if people are ready for a copy on write file system as the default file system, because if they're snapshotting things, they're gonna get confused. They're gonna, like, it happened to me. I was recording on this machine. I filled up my drive because I record in fucking ProRes, and then, like, I couldn't do anything because there's a lot of programs that require creating a temp file, and there wasn't enough room to create the temp files. And so I had to clean up my system, and I was deleting videos, and I wasn't clearing up space. And I realized, oh, I have like a billion snapshots. And so when I delete things, the diff between the snapshot and my current, the thing that I'm actually running, is just like the space is there. And so I have to clear out the snapshots first, and then I have to do this like ButterFS sweep thing. I don't remember what the command is to like rejig the space. And those intuitions are just all wrong, coming from XT4. And, if you don't know what you're doing, you could fill up your drive and have an unusable computer. Easy. So, anyways, what do we got? I'm going to steal that. I am the opposite. I also set up secure boot and TPM2 decryption on my drive. Oh, very cool. Very secure. And that's fair. I think there is something to be said for just diving in, right? Just like everything's new all at once. If you've got like time and passion for a new thing and you can just kind of spike it, especially if it's not your main device, right? So if I've got if I've got a spare MacBook or spare laptop or PC, I'd happily install all new stuff on it just to do an exploration. But if I have to rely on it for production, for like doing the stream, because I very much view YouTube and content now as not a job, because I don't make money. Well, I make some. We just broke $50 worth of AdSense for the first time in a month. So that's awesome. I will be getting my first paycheck from YouTube. Anyways, I don't view this as a job, but I do view this as a thing where I'm beholden to some people. I'm responsible for doing the Thursday stream and putting up my video. That makes it sound like a terrible obligation. It's not, but having that sense of responsibility about it makes it in some ways more fun. So that's cool. What else we got? Retention policy is part of a good backup plan. Yes, it is. And that's another reason I go one new technology at a time, because you need to learn what best practices are for your new technology and for what the best practices are with that new technology integrated into an entire set of technologies. And so knowing what the best practices are for the rest of your stack is really nice, because you can just keep doing that and also make alterations for the inclusion of this new tech. But yes, agreed. And I need to think about that. Another noob question: how does snapshots work, and why do they take up so much space? I couldn't tell you. ButterFS is my new technology this time around, so I don't know. I haven't read up a lot on how exactly copy on write file systems work. I think they may be diff based, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty confident they're diff based. Woohoo! Internet money. Yes, indeed. Okay, back to this story. Vault bro. So yes, I went to Protectly, because if you go on Amazon, right, and you go for N100 mini router PC guy, there's a lot of these in the $300 range. But then you're getting something from a company that you can't name, or isn't very, they're not respected in the space and all of that kind of jazz. You may not know what NICs they're using for their Ethernet ports and all of that kind of stuff. And so I just wanted this thing to work and be rock solid. So I went with Protectly because there's a couple of things that just tell us hey, we're in the know, we're in the space, and you can trust us. For example, Core Boot is an option, so you can choose an open source BIOS, which is kind of a geek thing to do, in a really cool way. They also mention specifically Proxmox, OpenWrt, Home Assistant, pfSense. This is all kind of good signaling to me, right? And then if we look at this guy, so this is the one that I picked up with some configuration. That's unfortunate. One of the things you can do is actually get it loaded up with OpenSense right from the start. So if we can configure this was expensive, but I'm never doing this shit again. I want full control over my network. I am not dealing with IP shuffles ever again. Oh, hey, Ananthu, how's it going? Let me know how my pronunciation is on that, by the way. If at any point I mispronounce anybody's name, go ahead and let me know. I have this anxiety about saying people's names wrong, and so I just don't say their names, which is not good. I want to refer to people by name because people like it. People like it, and I want people to enjoy being a participant in this conversation. So if at any point I say your name incorrectly, just let me know. But I will commit to doing my best. So anyways, I bought this thing, And check this out. First off, SFP plus, which means I got T for RJ45, which is awesome. And then no Wi-Fi module, because I'm just going to use an access point. Also, Wi-Fi module is not yet supported by BSD-based OSs, so that's a wash. No LTE stuff, no TPM. I went with Core Boot. I got just the usual warranty, and then where is it? There's an option here to install. Oh, because I didn't select this. OpenSense. So that's pretty cool. One of the nice things about this is this company tests OpenSense on the hardware, right? So if I, for example, were to go over to OpenSense and just download it, I would have gotten 25.7. And these guys are on 24.7. So this tells me, hey, they have yet to confirm that 25.7 is working really well on their hardware, but as a company, they commit to that, which is just phenomenal. I love knowing that this company is actually behind this, is thinking about this, and making sure things are working well. All right, what else we got? As an undergraduate student, it seems that you just get thrown into the space of all this technology, which is new to you, and you need to figure it out. Yes, agreed. Agreed. When I was an undergrad, I just went for it. That was a different time. Undergrad was a different time where you just have to commit to being thrown into France and learning French. That's how I referred to it. It was like, if you want to learn French, move to France. You can't learn it on fucking Duolingo, okay? Like, it's not the same. You need to be completely immersed. So yeah, if you're starting from nothing, just go for it. Not to say that you're starting from nothing, but you know what I mean. Anyways, this thing looks pretty sweet. The N150 is a souped up version of the N100. I think it's got some P cores. It sucks a little more electricity. I'm looking forward to that. 2 times 10 gigabit Ethernet. So I get 4 gigabit symmetrical from WAN, right? And so I didn't want to go to 2 gigabit because, you know, I want to use all my internet. I paid for all the internet. I'm going to use all the internet. So I'm excited about this. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving OpenSense a whirl. I've used OpenWrt before. This guy, OpenWrt. Why was there a furry on my screen? What? Okay. Furries run the internet, man. Fair enough. So I used OpenWrt before. And it was a pretty good experience. But I want something with a little more juice. I want a little more power. So we're going with this. I also picked up UPS. APC UPS. I got this. 'Cause yeah, I'm for real, man. I don't want my shit breaking again. So anyways, okay. That's the story. 22? Wow. Hi, everyone. How's it going? I don't think we've ever had that many people on stream. No, wait. No, we have. Hi. If you're new to stream, say hello. If you're not new to stream, also say hello. Thanks for dropping by. Anyways, that's the story. My network blew up. If you're new here or you haven't seen my most recent video, basically I had a power outage in my I'm not. Do you guys get? Yeah, you get.
I'm not what? I'm not strong enough.
Strong enough, and this will make you stronger?
Yes. No.
That's what this is? Some sort of workout?
I can't lose you again.
That's me to my home lab, because I just lost it to a power outage. So, too loud. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, so that was the situation. And we're going to try to fix some of it. The NAS is now working again. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? So the NAS is working again. All fantastic. Wow, I should stream on Saturdays. Holy. The NAS is working. We're all happy about that. Good news. Happy days. The Kubernetes cluster, however, is not doing the thing. So let's pop open Firefox, because Proxmox doesn't work very well. Like the Proxmox GUI doesn't work very well on Chrome. I don't know why. So let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me. Can we do? Can I? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Let's do it this way. Whoa. Okay. I have no idea how to fix this, by the way. I know probably IPs are messed up, but for example, and you guys are likely going to see a bunch of like API keys and things like that today. It is what it is. My network isn't open. I have no ports open to the internet, so it is what it is, and maybe I'll fix it later. So for example, if we go down to Etsy Rancher, yeah. So if we're down here, let's go ahead and just pop over there. CD Etsy Rancher K3S. Rancher, by the way, is the company that makes K3S, which is this lightweight Kubernetes distribution that I use. I highly recommend Jim's Garage video. Whoops. Jim's Garage video on K3S. He has a whole whole set of videos on this stuff, on basically setting up Kubernetes at home. I would highly recommend his set of videos. One of the reasons I don't really do like super educational videos and I do more of the storytelling stuff is because like Jim's just going to do a better job. I do like learn with me, and I do for fun, like sort of edutainment content, because they're better folks in the space for like, I am an authority on this, I know what I'm doing kind of stuff. Okay, so here's the deal. This is wait a second. Why is it using HTTPS? Okay, that's interesting. That might be a start. Because I don't think, I mean, wait, no, we've got certificates. It's just self-signed, probably. Okay, so, like, I'm on the head node. If I do a cube control, let's maybe can I make this bigger? Ooh, can I do... Okay, that's not awesome. All right, whatever. It's going to be a little hard to see. What do we got? Old certs? Expired even. Oh. Kyle says, I've been thinking about doing a NUC cube cluster, but I have no idea what I'd actually use it for. Anything that you use Docker Compose for. Like if you have Docker services that you want to run them in Cube. Also, so like AdGuard Home, which is what I was running, this guy, definitely run AdGuard Home. Just get ads. Just get ads out of your thing. Okay. No namesy. How's that? How's that as pronunciation? No namesy. That sounds like a pretty decent idea. Now, here, check this out, right? So if I do a kube control get service, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Timeout. Connection was refused. Yeah, Unify takes care of ads for me. Oh, I keep hearing really good things about the Unify network, like ecosystem, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a route I'm going to go down. We'll see. Okay. But sometimes, like if I just do, see, sometimes it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Isn't that bizarre? The server is currently unable to handle your request. Maybe if more family and friends start to use my Jellyfin. Hey, Plus, how's it going? So yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with this. Journal Control F. Whoops. I added a space. Whoa! Okay, we need to tail this. Okay, you know what? We got something to work with here. What are we seeing? Golang settings. Okay. K3s service. Main process exited. Code exited. Status equals 1 failure. Starting kubelet plugin manager. Failed to start networking. Unable to initialize network policy controller. Error getting node subnet. Failed to find interface with specified node IP. This is what we should expect. This is what should be happening because the IP has changed. The question is, where the hell is the configuration for where it's looking for this? That's the question. Where is that config? So, eviction manager. What a name. Right? Is K3s written in Go? So, just as an aside, I think for advent of code, I think I'll do Golang this year. I think that could be fun. Server.go successfully retrieved node IPs. That's incorrect now. So, all right, we're going to do the good old chat jippity, and we're going to ask it where that config is, because I have no idea. Let's do this off screen. We're going to do the good old vibe home lab. There we go. Okay. So once I find those config files, we should be good. K3. The server/agent is started via systemd, or more commonly, the drop-in env file. So it's all under systemd. And then there is also K3s stores its cluster state in SQLite. Okay, runtime state directories. I've somehow written 0 Go in my career. Yeah, I mean, I haven't written any Go either. Not professionally. What have I done? Mostly Python professionally. Python, some Java. I've written... Unfortunately, I've written JavaScript. So, yeah, I think professionally just JS, Python, and Java. Okay, so... Or the exec start line in k3s.service. So let's take a poke through some of this. cd/var/lib/rancher k3s. cd agent. Kubelet kube config. There's a bunch of configs. TS is my love language. Big TypeScript fan. I don't know why I stated Go twice. Need advent of code for effect TS. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I'm fairly committed in my career to not writing any TypeScript or JavaScript. That's a thing I've sort of promised myself, is never to become a guy who, like, that's their main thing. Not because I think it's a bad language or other people, like, it would be bad to do, but because I know I don't like it, and it would lead me down a different path in my career. Whereas like Golang, Python, Bash, as much as it's a programming language, these will lead me down like the things that I actually enjoy, I think. But yeah, fair enough. That's fine. Need money for me. Oh yeah. I mean, like, if you like TypeScript, if that's your thing, then that's awesome. That's it's just not my thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so we have a bunch of certs. What are the main issues with JS TS? Oh, it's just like I don't want to write front end stuff. It's not what's fun for me. So that's all there is to it. It's not like a strong stance about like the morality of JS or TS. I just like front end stuff doesn't get me jazzed, right? This is what gets me jazzed. This is the fun part for me. Okay. So it doesn't seem to be in these kube config files. Seems like grep-r, yeah. Like, so obviously the thing to do. You're totally right. Let's do a grep-r, old IP address, 10, let's put this in little quotes, 10.88.111.42, /var/lib/rancher. Nice. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Front end always brings discussions about icons, colors, and rounded corners. Yeah, right. Like it's just not my jam. Exactly. Um, I love critiquing UIs. But yeah. Okay. So we found some places that the old IPs are still in place. You can see there are also a couple places where the new IPs have been jammed. So good call in the grep-r. That's definitely the way. Let's do some more. Let's do a grep-r etc and let's do this etc system d system and we're gonna do wait, hold on, let's get this right. Let's not put the single quotes under here, and let's instead do 10.88.111.42 this. Okay, nothing here. Okay. I think maybe we can do just a sed on all that. Love system design on FE, to be honest. What's FE? Data flow, local cache, virtualization, component lib. Even more fun when I'm writing it in a way that BE, leaning edges. Oh, front end, back end. Ah, okay. Love system design on front end. Yeah, fair enough, man. Have at it. Have fun. That back end leaning engineers can use to not write shitty code. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I think we found a lot of our problem here. And now we know to go looking at varlib rancher over here. Can I just do a sed? Probably, right? Like sed-i for in place, 10, and then what is it? 1/10.88.111.42 for 10.88.111. What is it? 13? I don't know if I have to do a G. What's the sed for a glob of files? What's this? I'm like 99% sed won't work because the old cert was issued for the old IP. Yeah, might work. S for substitute, nice. I always forget that. What OS is it? This right here is just Debian 13 in the container, or sorry, in the VM, and then I'm running Omarchy, which is Arch Linux based for my desktop for cursively through multiple files. /var/lib. One of my friends said he is dual. Dual in what sense? Okay. Find. Oh, we can do it this way. Blind replacement can corrupt SQLite/etcd databases if the IP is stored in binary. Safer approach, restrict to text files. Okay. Find plus exec or xargs. Yeah. Okay. Let's give it a shot. I figured I could do like a ** /* kind of like you would in Vim, but I guess we'll do a find. So what is our command? Find /var/lib/rancher type. Is this right? This will go through every file in this. That's not quite what I want to do. Okay, first, let's go through what files these are in. cert.json. Binary file matches in the database. Oh, man. Dynamic-cert.json. Okay, I think we need to Google this. Like, how? So, like, K3s cluster IP node IPs update. Maybe there's a way to update these. This must happen, right? This must happen fairly frequently. The question is, I would assume that they have some kind of solution for, hey, my IPs got shuffled. What do we do now? Right? Yes, there we go. I just struggled with the same thing myself while setting up a cluster at my home network, and then only afterwards thinking of setting up a static IP on the master nodes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Change K3s URL here to the correct value. Restart agent. I'm not sure if service restart will do. I just rebooted the entire agent. Okay. So when I run K3s single node or a cluster and the host IP sends a change, how do I make the change to keep K3s in use? So maybe in here then. Let's pop this out. Let's get ChatGPT out of here. We're learning. Okay. So let's try cd/etc systemd system K3s. There's K3s service.env. Nothing in here. Are you able to run K3s with dynamically changing IP addresses? Say, for example, you want a worker node to be able to connect to different networks. Okay. Well, didn't see the beginning, but why are the IPs not the same as before? Because I'm an idiot. Let's take a look. So basically, my previous video, which was on Friday, I had a power outage, and I'm on my ISP's like consumer router, and so all my IPs are set dynamically through DHCP. So when the power outage happened, my router rebooted, and now my IPs are different. Anyways, as you can see, I've got OpenSense open over here because I bought a router and it's on the way because I never want to go through this again. Okay. So there we go. Maybe this. There we go. And now the master IP has been changed. IPs are expected to remain immutable for the life of a node's membership in the cluster. If you need to change the IP, you should stop the K3s service on the affected node, run kube control delete node to remove the node from the cluster, and then rejoin the node. Make sure the node is deleted from the cluster before rejoining it. Okay. Didn't see the beginning. Oh, yes. The SANs and the certs likely are set with the old IPs. Okay. So unfortunately, it can't. So this is something we might not be able to fix this today. I might have to wait. Actually, let me take a quick look if I can. I don't think so. So it's sounding to me like you can't fix this. Like what I'll have to do is create new nodes and have those nodes join the cluster. The problem is there's only one whatchamacallit. There's only one head node. I have no stuff. Can you use Tailscale to fix this? Maybe. Can you check which device got the old IP using ARPing or something and just set the IP on this node? Maybe. Let me take a look. Port forwarding rules, DHCP. DHCP leases and reservations. I can do that here. Okay, hold on. I don't want to expose this on screen, so you guys are all just going to look at my face for a bit. Okay. Okay. So I've set. Can you? Yeah. So I've set the old. I've set the things with reserved IPs to their old IP addresses. So hopefully, I don't think I've actually changed anything except cube control on my own device. Why does my neck do this? I think this might work. I think this might work. Fellas, gang, if this works, I'm gonna be a very happy camper. Gonna be a very happy camper. Oh, let's see if I can get my NAS and set that. Also, Home Assistant. Yeah, let's reserve some IP addresses. Okay. So there's Home Assistant. Where's Proxbox? iPhone? No. Yeah, let's go ahead and reserve for my desktop and NAST. Oh boy. If this works, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Okay. So I'm gonna pop this back off because I don't want to expose a bunch of MAC addresses. I don't think that matters that much, but just in case. Gang, as a question, some of you are pretty network aware. If I exposed a series of MAC addresses, how much would that matter? Like a lot, like a little? Where are we at on that? I mean, nobody can access my network other than me anyways, so it can't be that big a deal, right? Right? Whoops. Let's go in here. Welcome to Grub. MAC addresses in LAN matter as much as the K3S keys. Yeah, okay, figured. Cool. I think they're, yeah. Cool. Oh, let's do a quick IPA. Oh, we got our old IPs back. Okay, IPA. Very nice, very nice. You control get service. Oh, sudo su. Let's just do that. Absolutely no problem. Okay. What would be really funny is if you're all just like super gaslighting me. It's just the whole chat has come together to sabotage me. Get pods. And cube system. Okay, still pending on Argo CD. Cube control get service dash n Argo CD. Okay, get pods dash n Argo CD. We're running. Restart 65 seconds ago. No NAT means it's on the internet. Okay, if you're using IPv6, it's more of an issue. God, I am not using IPv6. Not at all. If you leak your credit card info, it's also not a security issue. Oh, okay, yeah. Do you guys want the back of the numbers on the back too? Just asking for a friend. Okay. Let's see, hosts. Let's do this. Huh? Oh. Okay. So these, whoops, should be 42 or 43, I forget. I think 43. We're gonna try 43. Try 43. Is changing the IP range that your router hands out for DHCP an option here, then using static IPs outside of that range? Maybe. I think we might be in business here though. So let's take a look at this first. Cube config, and then 42, I think. Okay. Nice. Oops. That's what I'm talking about. Oh. Oh, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. Yes. Okay, Argo, unsurprisingly, Argo CD is shitting the bed again. Name a more problematic service than Argo CD. Did we not fix this? Like, we have the manifests. That's what? Okay. Let's solve one problem at a time. So AdGuard home, boom, works. I can reset. Yeah, this is huge. I'm really happy about this. This is a good Saturday morning. I was feeling okay. So story time. I was so mad yesterday. I mean, like, oh, you know, because we've been making a ton of progress in the home lab. Like, it has been just take in for a moment. The beginning of August, I start this stream. I think the first stream was AMA. I've never streamed before. What's up? Right? And like 5 people showed up. I think it was like Tim and a couple of others. And I was surprised, right? Like people actually tuned in. I didn't think anyone would come watch my stream, right? And then the next week or something like that, I pull out my old home labbing gear to get started again. And we're starting from scratch. None of my Docker Compose stuff from the previous setup, blah, 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 blah. And we go for it. It's been about 2 months, more or less. And we've gone from no home lab to a configured Kubernetes cluster with GitOps and a NAS that we edit off of. Right? Configuring NF and not with TrueNAS, not to shame anyone who uses TrueNAS. TrueNAS seems really cool, but like I built it. Well, okay. many of you out there really contributed to the building. But, you know, we built this NAS from scratch, just from Debian 13. And I've never used Proxmox before other than to stand up a Kate's cluster one time, right? And so we did it. And then it just crashes. Everything crumbles and I'm like, "Oh my God damn it." Right before, like Friday is when I record my videos too. And again, I record to the NAS and I edit off of the NAS. So, you know, prods down. Prods down on the day I need to make my video. And it just sucked. It was so frustrating. I'm in the middle of my workday. My network goes down because naturally that's the day I decide to hand DNS over to AdGuard. And so that goes down and I have to go through cellular to fucking the Beanfield router portal because I can't just access it on my local network for some reason, which is another reason I'm getting an OpenSense router. And I'm just fixing all this crap so I can go to work. And like I'm the only person on my team at work right now, by the way, which is cool. That's a huge opportunity, right? I don't mean to shit on that situation. This is a huge opportunity for me to meet people and become essential, which is great. But it's also pressure. And it's just all of this shit happens. And I'm just like, right as I wake up, I have my coffee in hand and I'm about to go journal. I journal in the mornings, you know, in this guy. And I'm about to do, and I just hear boop, psh, psh, right as fans start spinning up because it was just a blip. I hear the breaker pop, air conditioning's not working, and I'm just like, "Oh, you gotta be shitting me." And we get the NAS working, and I make my video, and I go to work, and blah blah blah. And for this to just kind of work again, for this not to be the end of the world, right? It's just great. It's just great. Very, very happy about that. Very happy about our viewership too. Let's go, gang. Can't get a PagerDuty ring if you don't have internet though, so that's a win. Yeah. Let's go. So yeah, I'm okay. So Argo CD's being wonky. And I don't quite know. UPS is nut server on a Pi or something. Yes. I am getting my UPS, and I think it's got Nut built in. There was a Jeff Geerling video on Nut, wasn't there? I need to not say that. Nut. Yeah, okay. It's sorry, guys.
USB because my UPS has a USB port, but your UPS might have
we'll
some other
definitely be going
interface
through
that you
this.
can use. That's something that you'll have to
Yeah.
look at with.
Let's go ahead and grab that and just throw that in. What? Gonna need that. I've been seeing more about Nut, but haven't looked into it at all yet. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that on stream. Could be cool. Could be cool. Okay. So, what in the Argo CD, right? Because this doesn't make sense to me. Because we fixed this. Didn't we fix this live? Was it under apps? No, it was CD base. No, CD infra. Right? Like we have this. Did it not get applied? Control apply dash F Argo CD ingress. Right? Yeah, we're getting that redirect. Cube control get cm dash n Argo CD. Okay. Let's go ahead and just do a cube control apply dash F Argo CD config map. Okay, and then we should restart it here. And that'll probably do the dang thing, right? Cube control. What is it? It's like rollout, restart, deploy. Something like this. I remember things. I'm learning, maybe. Can we? No? Nah. All right. I mean, I think at this point I hate Argo CD. I think I hate it. Right? Like everything works except it. It's kind of getting on my nerves. Yeah. Like we've got no. No, I don't think so. Because I remember there was a problem. Was that Adgard? It was Adgard that had that problem. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Oh wait, that's Adgard. Why did I grab that? It was Adgard that changed the port. So yeah. Like we're still getting this. Oh, okay. Man, nah, fuck Argo CD, man. Apologies for all of the swearing this morning. I usually don't on the Thursday stream, but I just woke up, guys. I just woke up, and I don't have it in me to keep it together after the nightmare that I've had. No, please. Admin. Choo. All right, sweet. Sweet. Gang, we're back. We're freaking back. We are so back, as they say. Okay. You know what? Let me just turn down the light a little bit and make it a little warmer. That's better. So we're up and running again. This is great. This is great. And if we have a power outage, we should be good. We now our IPs are statically leased. Just fantastic. We look at this. We're building up resilience. We're making the lab smarter. We're making it better. We're doing the thing. While we're here, let's do some Jellyfin stuff. Like I got more morning in me. It's not even 10. So here's the deal. I'm going to get some more water. Probably brew up another coffee because as network, I should have named Network Chuck in my video. Hold on. Also, if you've never seen my statistics, look at this. We are growing. We're growing fast. I didn't expect this video. Oh, my click-through rate's doing pretty well too. I didn't expect this video to do well, to be honest. I think I say that in the video. Wow, it's actually doing quite well. Thanks, guys. What I wanted to do is say, not video analytics. I want to go to the video. By static IP, what I mean is static leases also should have named Network Chuck. Love that guy. Boom. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to get some water. I'm going to make some more coffee and come back. We're going to play with Jellyfin. We've got some stuff for that. So, this is my bag of old PC stuff. No, that's my AP. Cables. Router. Okay. So I used to use this thing. Let's switch cameras. I used to use this as my router. It's an N97. So the N97s have a little bit more juice than the N100s, but they also soak up more power, which, you know, is a fair trade-off, you know. Let me actually check this thing. I've got it somewhere in my history of Amazon orders. Huh. Search orders. When would I have purchased this? Probably 2024, maybe 2023. Let's take a look. So I used to use this with OpenWrt on it. OpenWRT. OpenWrt. I'm going to call it OpenWrt. And that was my router for a long time in my previous home lab. So yeah, we're going to run this as, I think, a Kubernetes node. Again, just Debian 13. We're going to have to do some Ansible stuff soon because we're starting to get to the point where there's a number of machines. There we go. There's a number of machines in our cluster. In the totality of our home lab, frankly, that are going to need updates when CVEs roll out and all of that. So we're probably going to do an Ansible stream at some point. N95, not an N97. What is the N95? Whatever. It should be sufficient. It should be sufficient to run Jellyfin. What is the N95? Where are we at on that? Execution units. Almost identical in CPU performance. They differ in graphics. The N95 has 16 execution units. The N100 has 24. So for gaming, the N100 is clearly better. Okay, yeah. So it's not going to be the best Jellyfin server in the world, but it'll do. I also have Chewy. Right? We got a good old Chewy, but I kind of like to reserve Chewy for experiments. Like the N100 is just such an iconic name, and if I say like N95, it's not going to hit the same. So I'll probably keep Chewy for experiments. We'll also do some VM pass-through stuff with Proxmox eventually, but I haven't figured that out yet. But yeah. We're gonna set this up with Jellyfin. I'm gonna make some more coffee and then I'll be right back. So consider it a break, a little break from stream. Here, I don't have like a break screen. Hold on, let's make one. Is there a way for me to do that quickly and easily? I guess I would need like an image. Well, in the meantime, maybe I can just full screen something fun. Here. You can all watch my video. Let's see
I'm not-
Not what?
Not too loud. Let's bring that down while I go make some coffee. Advanced audio properties. Let's drop this down. ASCII Aquarium. All right. Do I have yay? ASCII Aquarium. Nice. There we go. That's a good. I like that. That's a good little break screen. What is it? This? Cool. All right, gang. Oh wait, you're not on that screen. Hold on. Desktop. And let's go ahead and do break. And we're gonna do. Is it screen cap? I forget what I use. Yeah, screen capture. Okay, screen capture. Pipewire. Cool. Oh, right, because my screen is 4K. So I gotta smush it down. Okay. I'll be back, everyone. You serious set a timer for 4 minutes?
4 minutes starting now.
Hey everyone. So my coffee is just brewing. That'll take about 4 minutes, and then I'll go press it. It'll take a minute. What game is this? This is not a game. It's like a ASCII screensaver. It's just an aquarium, and it's I think plus you have one with like Godzilla, right? Also, while we wait, is that a keyboard? This, by the way, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I got a Jetson running my Zill aquarium all day. That's hilarious. Um, check this thing out. So I bought this GMK Tech mini PC, but like just for context, right? It's not that many. But this has one of those Ryzen AI 395 plus chips in it with 96 gigabytes of unified memory. So I'm gonna do some local LLM stuff on this in the near future. Should be a lot of fun. In the meantime, though, soaks up too much juice and killed my poor system over there. So that's gonna go in the corner. My kind of feng shui. That's good. Okay. Got to do a little cable wrangling. What's good? Hey! Hey, with Ducks, how's your old Marchi setup going? I'm sorry I couldn't help you yesterday. I really wish I could have, but it was a not a great day for me. Ah, yeah. Wi-Fi is weird. I'm using wired internet for right now. I don't know. Maybe it's the update. Okay. Um, I on my on this thing, which is the only laptop I'm running Omarchi on, my Wi-Fi is working, which is weird because it's T2, right? And usually these things are a nightmare. Um, when you say your Wi-Fi is weird, can you describe it a little bit more? What do you mean by weird? Let's drop this back. There we go. And then we're also just gonna do while my coffee is brewing. My coffee's brewing. We're gonna install a Ventoy on this little USB stick again. Oh, there's the coffee. Never mind. I'll be right back, everyone. Hey Siri, stop. I'll just leave you here. Let's do break. Woohoo! Okay, coffee's brewed, and the gamers are ready to game. With Duck says, Wi-Fi wasn't even listing, then my Wi-Fi got listed, I connected, and sometimes internet stopped working. Huh. Okay. Can you maybe in the Discord share a little bit about your laptop? Like what's the configuration, product model, all of that jazz? That would be super useful. Okay. So, I forget how to install this. Do I just flash it? Oh yeah, it's just an ISO. Okay. Oh, another question for the folks here. Yeah. If any of you do content creation of any sort, recording, especially via OBS, um, well, that sort of thing, on Linux, I've been having. Ventoy has an install shell script coming with it. Oh, cool. Maybe I should have read the instructions. Document, get started. Okay, yeah, you just flash. Okay, cool. Right? I'm not dumb. This is just Rufus. So Ventoy GUI. Cool. Oh, look at that. Cool. Well, I mean, we're good. Let's go ahead and grab. Do I have Debian 13? Did I not do that right? Okay, what did I do wrong here? Interesting. Okay. No Debian. No Debian. Oh, let's go downloading. Do I care about net install versus some other thing? I have fast internet, fuck it. If anyone's offended by my language today, let me know and I will make an effort to tone it down. That is not a problem. Let's do that. What other ISOs do I have on here? We've got a March EV3. I'm offended by the lack of language. Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're doing here. We could work with that. Oops. Okay. What do I do with Ventoy again? It's been a little while. I just drag and drop, no? How Ventoy works, Ventoy plugin. Yeah, I just drag and drop. Is it? Where would that go? Is it under mount? Huh. Okay. We'll just do it the Windows way. Or not. Okay. So what's going on with Ventoy? Run media live CD. Yeah, because we just flashed it. Newest change in Debian user media user until 13 media user. Interesting. Okay, so typo meant /run/media user in 14. Why are we not able to drop stuff in here? What are we doing here? Copy to. Select. There's not enough space. There's not enough space. Why? Okay, I've clearly borked the installation somehow. So in classic fashion, you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We are gonna install twice. You mounted the ISO? I don't. I flashed it to the USB, but maybe that was the wrong thing to do. I forget. Okay, main page. Blah blah blah. You just need to copy the ISO efi files to the USB drive and boot them directly. Yeah. You can copy many files at the same time. Yes. Many. Yeah. Okay. What is the install process? I've done this before. Get started. Not for Windows. For Linux. Download the installation package and decompress it. Ah. What's this? That's fun. Okay. Download. Yeah, so I should have done the thing. Yeah, the ISO to boot, but not Ventoy itself. Okay, cool. Download the installation package and decompress it. Where is that download? Downloads. tar.gz. Dude, like I don't know what's going on. I started streaming and now all of a sudden I say Z. What? Also, this is not what I was looking for, no? Did I not get the tar? Not the CD? Question mark? Files. Different versions. Okay. What is going on here? Did I just get sent? Okay, hold on. One more time. That's the ISO. Oh, there we go. I'm smart, probably. Ventoy web. Is there a, one of the nice things about KDE, I'm not like a huge KDE person, is the right click open in terminal. That's pretty sweet. Okay, Ventoy to disk.sh. Okay. To SDX. SDA. Cool. I force install to SDX no matter if installed or not. Update list Ventoy information. Okay, so it's just dash I SDA. Should work. /dev. Yep. Oh. Yes. Yes. Cool. That'll go do its thing. I want to switch my DNS back over to AdGuard, but I don't want to do that in the middle of stream. God knows what that'll do. What do we got? In the meantime, I guess we can hook up the old N95. Can I bring you guys with me? Kind of. I see. Let's do it again. Okie dokie. So. I wake up and you're live. What the heck? What type of alternate universe did I wake up to? Yeah, I was fixing the Kubernetes cluster. The one with the broken home map. It's fixed now. Yeah, so I figured I'd fix the lab on stream, you know, type of thing. And we did. So I'm gonna work a little bit on Jellyfin, see where that takes me. I don't know how hard we're gonna go today. I mean, I've already been live for a little bit. I can feel I'm starting to get tired, so there we go. Oh yeah, let's bring Linux Mint with us. Let's go ahead and do Debian CachyOS handheld. Yeah, man. Anything else I want on here? No? Oh, Proxmox. Why not? There we go. Boom. So, that's nice. We've got Ventoy loaded up with plenty of things to install. Okay, gotta do some Saturday stuff before shops are closing here, hoping that Jellyfin setup takes longer than an hour. I'm hoping it doesn't. Do a 12-hour stream. How many things will Nathan break during a 12-hour stream? Nathan will break many things during a 12-hour stream, that much we know. What's this? Oh, that's wonky. Okay. But no worries, you know me. I'll be streaming again next week. If you missed the rest of this one, I'll be back. These Saturday morning streams are actually kind of nice. It's definitely not something that I'll commit to because, you know, I can't reserve my Saturday mornings. But, you know, if I'm available, why not? So I'm just grabbing some Ethernet for the good old, for the new guy. So I think what we'll end up... Oh, wait. I want to run Jellyfin inside a pod. It's going to be a mess. Jellyfin... what's going on with that? Whoa. Why is that going so slow? Let's go ahead and shut that down. And let's bring you back over here. Docker Kubernetes pod, man. Oh, why is my Chrome dying? What is going on with all that? Huh? Okay, let's pop back here. This is all good. This is all good. Boom. Jellyfin docs. Okay, official container. Jellyfin. All good. Jellyfin distributes official container images on Docker Hub and GitHub Container Registry. Oh, that's what Ghooker is. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. These images are based on Debian and built directly from Jellyfin source code. Sweet. Docker Compose. We're probably going to go from Docker Compose to a Kubernetes thing. Let's take a look. Do we Helm Jellyfin? Anybody got that? I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess no. README is... Somebody's got something. It was updated 5 months ago. It's not too bad. Jellyfin has official Helm charts. Sweet. That's not bad. Custom values, install a chart. I mean, we need to mount... My understanding is we're going to mount dev DRI so that we can get GPU things. It's kind of what I see coming. Cluster IP, no load balancer stuff, port, blah, 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 ingress. Yeah, I think I'll probably end up doing this myself. Because, yeah, we're going to set up our persistent stuff. I also haven't configured... What haven't I done yet? We're probably going to need to do some Kubernetes stuff because we're going to add the NAS to the cluster. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we're going to manage this all today, but we can start doing some exploration. We'll just hang out while I do that, and then we'll call it a day. So let's see. Kubernetes, NFS, ZFS. I've heard that there's a way to do these dynamic provision things. Exploradora. That's me, man. Dynamic ZFS provisioner for Kubernetes. Kubernetes ZFS provisioner is a dynamic ZFS persistent volume provisioner for Kubernetes. It creates ZFS datasets via SSH on remote hosts and shares them via NFS to make them mountable pods. This is what I want. Alternatively, if the ZFS hosts are part of the cluster, that's okay. Host path is also possible, but the persistent volume objects will have a node affinity configured. Okay. As a third option, if the ZFS host is part of the cluster, you can let the provisioner choose whether NFS or host path is used with the auto mode. Okay. Provisioner relies on properly configured storage classes. The following shows an example of host path. The provisioner relies on properly configured storage classes. Okay, yeah. Parent dataset, storage 1. Okay. No, this looks reasonable. Configures a storage class for ZFS over NFS. Okay. Hey, look at that. I'm familiar with that. Okay. Mm-hmm. How do I use these as PVCs? I don't know how storage classes interact and how to use them as PVCs. So create dataset over SSH is an interesting solution and shares them via NFS. That might be doable. Kubernetes node with local CFS. Create dataset, use a controller, PVC, request PV. But the persistent volume objects will have a node affinity configured. That seems reasonable. Both of these seem reasonable to me. I feel like I want to learn, like, first off, is this well maintained? Let's take a look. CSI is the new standard for storage. NFS is the main network file system protocol. iSCSI. Yeah, we're not going to be doing iSCSI. Probably. Yeah, this is a whole thing. I need to learn more about ZFS versus other things. Me too, man. That's why we do this, though. I'm following, what is a simple guide to use Kubernetes cluster with TrueNAS scale using democratic CSI. So maybe this is what we want, democratic CSI. When was it last updated? Okay, we got 100 forks 6 months ago was the last thing, and it failed, and nobody's done anything about it. It's a little stressful. A little stressful. It's also written in JavaScript, which is kind of insane. Why is this written in JavaScript? Wait, what? Hold on. Goated. I'm glad we have somebody in the chat who's like a big JS fan. That's gonna make for really fun banter. Okay, so I actually don't know much about how Kubernetes. What I don't know any of this. I don't know any of this. Okay. It works, but I never really liked the solution. Blah 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 blah. I settled on TrueNAS, FreeNAS, but was recently renamed. Oh, this is old. The key part is how to integrate Kubernetes with TrueNAS. It's quite easy to mount an existing NFS or iSCSI share into a Kubernetes pod, but the hard part is automating the creation of these storage resources with a provisioner. That's kind of what we want. After some searching, I found a project called Democratic CSI, which described itself as the CSI container storage interface spec providing storage for various container orchestration systems, Kubernetes. Cool. Easy to get started. All right, so we have stuff. We're not using TrueNAS, but we have pools. With your storage pools in place, it's time to enable the services you need. I am using both iSCSI and NFS, and I've started them running, and also set them to start automatically. Also, SSH is enabled. Cool. Kubernetes will need access to the TrueNAS API with a privileged user. This guide uses the root for simplicity, but in a production environment, you should create a user with a strong password or a certificate. Yep. That the user account used by Kubernetes to SSH to TrueNAS has a supported shell. Blah, 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 blah. NFS. Access the NFS setting by clicking enable NFS v4. Yeah. Skipping iSCSI. Oh. What is the JS for, though? I think the entire application is written in JavaScript. Like, JS is 95%. So if we look in like source, they wrote the driver. They wrote the driver in JavaScript. Like, I'm sorry, but that's psychotic. I'm not running JavaScript on my desktop, man. Like this just rubs me the wrong way, man. Like, why wouldn't you write this in Go? You know? Right? That's insane. That's insane. I don't know, man. That seems wild to me. We do this, blah, 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 NFS utils. We need to prepare all the nodes in the cluster to be able to use the NFS protocol. This is an Ansible problem. This is an Ansible problem. It's an Ansible problem. Because we're about to get to the point where we have 3 separate nodes in this cluster. Probably 4 if we include the NAS and the Kubernetes cluster. Why not use Python and Shell, the 2 tools a sysadmin needs? Yeah, I mean, Shell... Python seems fine to me. Although for something like this, I'd want to write this in C or Go or Rust or something. Okay, to be fair, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? Like, these people developed something useful and powerful that lots of people use. So for me to come in here and be like, oh, they should have developed it my way, is kind of ridiculous, because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? Like, I'm just a guy who's like, well, that seems low level, therefore low language, right? But I didn't build it. If I wanted it low language, I should have built it, right? So that's kind of where I stand on that. Write it in OCaml like a real man. Agreed. You know what? Write it Motorola 68K ISA assembly, or else you suck. So, there. Okay, so we have a number of interesting problems here. What do we want to do? What's the easiest OCaml good? Wasn't Primeagen like big on OCaml for a second? Wasn't that like a thing? Write it in machine code only. Yeah, I only accept it on punch cards. If you don't write it on punch cards, you're lame. Okay. Gluster FS. There's so many solutions. I don't know where to go. Volume snapshots, cloning, resizing directly through Kubernetes APIs, offering. Oh, that's really cool. This is cool. Ignacio, hello. How's it going? OS? Tiling window manager? Yes. Look at this. Boom. Tiled. Yeah, I'm running Omarchy, which is Arch Hyperland combo. It's all the rage these days. Okay, so I mean, this CSI thing seems like the most recent thing. I don't think this is the way. Manually handling stuff also seems reasonable. Nice, love it. Me too. Omarchy has been absolutely fantastic. Okay, so this seems like the solution. I am a little wary that the last commit was 6 months ago. Were they developing really frequently prior to that? No. So it looks like whatever they built is sort of feature stable. And Travis over here comes in to merge things every once in a while. So maybe we're okay. What do we got pull request wise? Let's take a look at issues. I just don't want to build something into my home lab unless I know it's like fairly well maintained, right? NVMe TCLI. Snapshot is taken but cannot be restored. TrueNAS restart breaks ZFS. I'm not using TrueNAS. Permission denied to resize PVC. TrueNAS. Okay. TrueNAS. Time to build our own port. Jesus. Kyle, you're the JS guy, right? Right? So I'm pretty sure you're building that for me. Thanks, bro. Really appreciate that. That's really nice of you, man. For me? Really? Thanks. Okay. I'm kind of just mucking about because I don't really want to do this right now. There's a number of steps. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Awesome, man. Thank you. Let's just talk about this. So Jellyfin. Let's start doing Jellyfin, right? What is my jellyfin.md. Oh, yes, edb jellyfin.md. So the plan, right? We got the plan. What do we want to do? Well, I want to run this in Kubernetes because I really want to learn me some Kubernetes. So here's the deal. The obvious route forward is just run Jellyfin in a virtual machine or straight up off of the device, right? That would be super easy. The project will be done tomorrow. Yeah, awesome. Let me agent get the LLMs in on it. Quick, more AI. The obvious solution, let's do this. The obvious quick solution is just to run this on Debian bare metal, right? We could do that. Mount the NAS. What? Mount the NAS. Boom. Working Jellyfin, right? Like this is the easiest route. But I want to learn Kubernetes. I want to learn Kubernetes. I want to learn Kubernetes. So, what are we going to do instead? Step 1, install Debian on N95 mini PC, right? 2, we're gonna... No. What? Yeah. Install Debian on the N95, join it as a worker node into the kube cluster, tag the node as iGPU. We'll use this tag for serving Jellyfin pods, right? Because we don't want it to run on other things. Because at Kyle McDonald and Nathan Laundrie loves pain. Yeah, true. That's what I did, and it was easy. Why so complex? Keep it simple. I choose complexity because I want to learn. So, for example, yes, if the point of this was to make my home lab just work, yeah, we would just do this. We would just do this. It'd be awesome. We move on with our lives. But I home lab specifically so that I can learn how to do learn specific skills, and I just want to learn Kubernetes. I want to learn Kubernetes real good. If you run Proxmox in high availability, won't the entire thing be a cluster so then you don't need to do any of this? It's all a cluster all the way down? I think so. Sorry, I've got a message from a friend. Okay, so yeah, we got this. Probably mount. Oh yeah, we're not. Oh yeah, wait. I don't know how this works. So first is get new bare metal node running. So that's step 1, right? And then 2, get Kubernetes NFS ZFS integration, right? I think this will involve democratic CSI. I think that's what that'll involve, right? Oh wait, no, I want this CSI, cube ZFS guy, right? Wait, you got fans too now? Man, you moving up in life? So yeah, we're gonna be doing this, get Kubernetes, okay? And then probably at this point, build Jellyfin manifest, something like that. And it's with dev/DRI. Actually, let's just do this. I think we'll need dev/DRI mounted in a privileged pod for iGPU not pass through, but use in container, right? So we need that. What else we need? PVC stuff for NAS, right? Anything else? Anything else? I want to run this in Kubernetes. Yep. Why are these underlined? Okay. I think that's the thing. So this is going to be quite a bit of work. It's going to be quite a bit of work. This will be easy. This is a lot. and I imagine this will be quite hard. Let's just get an estimation of what that would look like. What our manifest would look like. What would a Jellyfin Kubernetes manifest look like with PVC onto my NAS plus /dev DRI mounted for iGPU usage? Let's take a look. I just want to see an estimation of what that might look like and see if it's just so long that we should use the Helm chart. I do like having my own manifests though. Just feels good. Okay. Clean, production ready. Mounts your NAS via NFS for config, cache, and media. Sweet. Mounts /dev DRI for the host so Jellyfin can use QuickSync. Runs as non-root user with video render group access. Includes a service and an optional traffic ingress. Nice. Pins the pod to a node you label for iGPU work. Yep. Replace nas.lan with the NFS export paths and the ingress host. Cool. So what are we looking at? NFS backed persistent volume, right? So persistent volume, we name it, storage, retain, and we say do it over here. So we're defining the volumes first. Saying here, and we're saying what we're storing. And then what is this? The media. Cool, yeah. Okay. Reasonable type shit. PVCs that bind the above PVCs. Or PVs. So we create a persistent volume and then we claim that volume. So the config goes here. Makes sense. Read write many. So we say, hey, we name the volume. Road to million, Tim. Hell yeah. This makes sense. So we just claim them afterwards. And we can just say that they're NFS. This more or less makes sense to me. I've never done that before, but we can give it a shot. And then, yeah, the deployment makes sense. Node selector, we're looking for GPUs. We're looking for those iGPUs, right? That checks out to me. Kind of obvious what container we're running. Volume mounts. Yep. We just mount these suckers. Mount iGPU device nodes. Dev DRI. Sweet. That's great. That's great. Security context. Run is non-root, but ensure group access matches your NAS permissions. Well, okay, we'll see about that. I'm pretty sure my NAS is a little bit messed up right now. Because right now, Nathan at 10.88.111.4. Yeah. Like if we do a little cat etsy exports. Oh, right. Right, if we take a look at this, I'm currently all squash because I couldn't get permissions to sync up, so we've got some fixing to do there. I don't know how all squash works when it's interacting with Jellyfin /Kubernetes interacting with it. So we'll figure that out. Allow privilege escalation, read-only root file system, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Volumes. We grab our persistent volumes. Yep, that'll make sense to me. Service. All good. This is type cluster IP. I think that's fine because we're just going to do an ingress via traffic, right? And we'll switch this to ingress route via traffic instead of doing the native Kate's setup. So this doesn't strike me as insane. This seems fine. So then the question is, how does democratic CSI work? Let's do a little bit more chatting with this guy. Tell me a bit about how democratic CSI works. Make sure to search so you have real information. Meanwhile, do they have like a wiki? Do they have a wiki? README. Installation, node prep, server prep, i.e. your storage server, deploy the driver into the cluster. Okay. And we've got some community guides. Migrating between storage classes using Valero. No idea what that is. Migrating from NFS client provisioner to democratic CSI. Cool. Moving to TrueNAS and democratic using TrueNAS. Everybody's on TrueNAS, man. How can I learn Kubernetes? How can you learn Kubernetes? Start with K3s. It's a lightweight Kubernetes distribution, so you don't have to set up like full K8s. And then, unfortunately, I don't have any videos on this stuff yet, but I would recommend Jim's Garage and then search up his K3s stuff. Where's it? Playlists. Here we go. K3s. Kubernetes. Yeah, grab this playlist. Oh, there we go. Boom. Also, hey Shadowstorm, welcome to chat. How's it going? So yeah, where were we? Here's the gist of what democratic CSI and how it works, grounded in the project docs and TrueNAS guys. A family of Kubernetes CSI drivers that talk to storage backends, TrueNAS, generic ZFS Zol hosts, ZFS on Linux, Zol, right? Synology, blah, 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 blah. To dynamically provision persistent volumes, it's shipped as a Helm chart and deploys the usual CSI controller plus node components. How it works: you install driver variant, FreeNAS, ZFS generic iSCSI, ZFS generic NVMe OF via the chart and configure it with backend creds. Okay. Thanks for the link. No problem. Jim's Garage is really like the guy for learning how to home lab on YouTube. I think he really gets into it. He knows what he's talking about really, really well. And he's very clear in how he communicates. Just the best educational content on home labbing on YouTube. I would also recommend Network Chuck for some more introductory level stuff. But yeah, okay. Supported backends, generic Zol hosts, ZFS generic NFS. That's probably uses SSH to run ZFS/target tooling on your storage host. Okay. CFS goodies. Topology aware scheduling. Typical install, high level. Install the Helm chart and provide a values file that picks a driver. Creds, SSH or API. We're going to do SSH. Then create a storage class that references the installed driver and a PVC that uses that class. Protocol choices. NFS, simplest for multiple pods/nodes, great for Jellyfin media libraries or shared app data. Windows is for suckers, so no. We're not using TrueNAS. Backend prep matters. For Zol drivers, you'll need targets. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Okay. Okay. This seems reasonable. We're definitely not building it today. Okay. Let's jump back here. I think that's this guy. Yeah. And then what about this? NFS version 4. Yeah. Driver. Yeah. Some private key stuff. So you can do SSH connection. Make sure to use the storage pool that was created previously. When was that created? I guess probably up here. Data set parent name. Yep. Cool. That's fine. Share host. Yeah. Share alders. Okay. Install the democratic guy. Verify that the pods are running. Names. We put it in its own namespace. Get sk. What is sk? What is sk? What is an SC? What is an SC? Storage class. There we go. Storage classes. Cool. Did you end up setting up an OpenSense router? Not yet. That's on the way. So basically, what we've got. Also, hey Hector, how's it going? Basically, what we're doing. I figured out how to do static leases on my consumer ISP router guy. So that fixed our cluster until OpenSense comes back over here, and then we can get into some cool stuff. I'll make a YouTube video on it. Should be fun. Okay. And then we can create some persistent volume claims, annotations, volume beta, storage class, this guy. Storage class, blah, read write once. Very cool. Create a persistent volume claim. And then that should create the data set under the thing. Okay. This seems not too bad. Not too bad at all. CFS or Democratic CSI guide. Let's do it like this. Cool. Yeah. So I think we can do this. How much of this do I want to get done today? Because I want to do something. I think that would be nice. Yeah, I'm up in the air with pfSense and OpenSense in a mini PC. Oh, cool. Just realized my TP-Link router does not support VLANs. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I haven't my router, so for context, I went with this company, Protectly. They've been awesome already. I bought from their US site, and they emailed me the day I put in the order and said, "Hey, did you know we have a Canadian site as well? If you want, just let me know. I'll cancel your order, put in a new order for Canada. You can avoid customs and get faster shipping." And I was like, "You guys rock." You can tell they really know what they're talking about. You can choose core boot if you want open source BIOS. You can get OpenSense installed from shop, right? Like you don't have to install it yourself, which is pretty cool. So I'm so far a big fan. I will be doing a review, but I imagine the review will go really well. I got this guy. I got the Volt Pro VP2440, which comes with an N150. Really nice little CPU guy. Yeah, this configured it. I think I went 16 gigs of RAM, and it's got 10 gigabit Ethernet SFP plus ports, 2 of those, and then 2.5 gigabit Ethernets. So really hyped about this. This is going to be great. It was expensive for sure. It starts at $569 Canadian, but like I do this kind of stuff professionally as a junior, but I want to learn it. I want to learn it well, and you got to have good hardware to do it. So I'm doing it. That's the plan. Okay. So I think what I'll do is probably install Debian on the new guy, get him hooked into the Kubernetes cluster, get him a static IP, make sure that he's showing up in our nodes list, and then probably leave it at that. Let me just ask one quick question to ChatGPT. Is there much value to adding my... Yeah, I'll be checking it out. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, their stuff is more expensive than like the stuff you'll find on Amazon from insert Chinese company that might disappear tomorrow. But it's well worth it. The customer service is great. You know that you're getting quality NICs for stuff. You know that they've tested it with OpenSense specifically to make sure everything works. And that's just worth it. Like, I don't want to be messing with my network and thinking to myself, God, is it because I bought a piece of shit router? So it's worth the extra money. Okay, so let's ask this. Is there much value to adding my NAS to the Kubernetes cluster, or should we just work exclusively through NFS? Just wondering, what do you work as? My official title is research engineer at Autodesk. So I was doing a PhD prior to this, and then I dropped out because I realized I like engineering more than doing research myself. So now I get to support researchers by doing like AWS stuff, some software development, cool things like that. And it's really fun. It's really fun. I think legally, I have to say, nothing I say here, no views or whatever expressed by me are in any way reflective of Autodesk, since I mentioned their name. So that. But yeah, really cool. Okay. Don't add the NAS as a Kubernetes node. You'll get 95% of the value by keeping the NAS outside the cluster and using a CSI. Okay. When it's not worth clean separation of concerns, I do like that. Smaller blast radius. Yeah, upgrades are simpler. You can patch Kubernetes without worrying about ZFS pools and NAS services. Fewer cluster creds on the NAS. You still get dynamic PVCs when it could be worth it. You want node local performance. I don't really need that. You're okay scheduling some work nodes on the storage box. I don't want that. You need NVMe. Don't need that. You can add it, harden it. Okay, we'll keep it outside the cluster. Keep it outside the cluster. So, keep the NAS outside the cluster. And so we'll just handle things through SSH, which is a good excuse to get some SSH stuff handed out in my network so that I can start Ansibling. Good excuse to start doing SSH search/keys as a SOP, standard operating procedure, for my network. Opens the door to Ansible ing. Okay, I'll be right back, everyone. 1 second. Wait, hold on. I want to do ASCII Aquarium. This is our pause screen. Looks nice. Thanks. Yeah, this was a recommendation from one of our regulars in the stream and the Discord. By the way, if you're new here, hang out in our Discord. Let's go bada bing bada boom over here, and we'll do a little invite people, right? We'll invite people. Boom. If you want to join, hang out, all of that jazz, you're more than welcome to. I'm also just going to take a quick peek to see. Whoa, that's not what I want. The health of our stream. I want to make sure that it's running right. How do I do this? Go live? I'm already live, man. Just want to check, make sure stream's okay. Sweet. Okay, so we have excellent connection. We can keep going. Okie dokie. So here's the game plan. I've got the little mini PC hooked up, ready to go. I'm also just gonna do this. Trigger toggle top bar. Because this is an OLED screen, so I don't want burn in from my top bar. Okay. So that we've got earlier. Well, hopefully it still worked. I may have just borked that. Earlier, we set this up with Ventoy, so it should have Debian 13 on it, which is my default for anything server. So we're gonna hook this up into a mini PC that I've got hooked up on my test bench. I've got a capture card, so we'll just watch it all go. Let's do this thing. Can this turn into an expensive hobby? Oh my god, yeah. Really fast. Like instantly. Instantly. But the way I see it is like, yes, it's a hobby, but it is also it's also how I learn my profession, right? Like I do this professionally and I need a place to test things, you know? And so that place is my home lab. It's how I learn Linuxy things. It's how I learn networking. It's the whole thing, right? So test bench. I am getting a black screen on my end as well. Let's try booting that sucker back up. See what we get. There we go. Sweet. Okay. Let's go ahead and do Debian 13, boot in normal mode. And oh, where'd my image go? Yellow. Signal detected. Oi, what happened? Let's try that one more time. What about you guys? Especially all of our new folks in stream. A lot of new viewers today. Feel free to introduce yourselves. Say hey. Let me know a little bit about you, how you found the stream, all that jazz. The heck? What is going on? There you go. A person I know sets up millions worth when it comes to servers and have Linux on everything in his home labs, from PC to old PC and whatnot. Kind of crazy setup. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're gonna get good at this kind of thing, right? Like, if you're really gonna take it seriously, I think it's necessary. Like, I think you have to love it. You have to play with Linux in your home lab. Like, you can't get away with, you can't be great at this without taking it seriously. You know? There we go. Okay. Y'all see what I'm seeing? To be honest, I don't know how I got here, but I learned something. That's awesome. I'm really glad. That, like, so I say this a lot. I'm not an expert, right? That's not me. I'm learning as we go, right? And so this is, I treat the stream as a let's learn together situation. That's kind of the way I think about it. And it's fun. It's fun that way. So if you learn something, I guarantee I'm learning something too. We're learning together. Let's take a look at this. Where are we? Where are we? Analytics, cool. So one thing that we do as a policy is keep HomeLab Jellyfin. Let's see, connected nodes. One thing we do as a policy is keep. What is this? Hmm. There we go. Is keep the best documentation we possibly can. So we're gonna do that. Let's see. It's part of HomeLab. Does that work? Yeah. This is a new node. So we're gonna go child of and we're gonna go. So this is a this is a hashtag service. I'm trying to keep tags for things. Help me. Oh wait, I just realized you guys are looking at the install. Let's do this. Nope. This. So this, it is a service, and it is runs on. And we'll create a new page for this node. So it's E, and we're just gonna call this. Okay, network configure. Oh, sorry, I'm jumping back and forth. I realize that might be a little jarring. Your network. Configure do not configure network. Retry network with the DHCP hostname. Let's go back. Go back. Okay. So where am I? Oh. Oh my God! I didn't plug this. I didn't plug Ethernet in. Oh, hey, Plus, welcome back. Tim, depends. Some systems can get really expensive. I stopped asking for the prices of hardware at work. Backbone. Yeah, yeah. Cool. So let's get this thing hooked up. I need shorter Ethernet cables. Holy cannoli! Is this one cable? Oh my God! No, I'm not using this. I'm not using this cable. It's gotta be something else. Okay, whatever. This guy for now. I guess I'm walking to Canada Computers and buying more Ethernet cables soon. Try that. Okay. 100%. I forgot the configuration, but he told me about a config and it was worth $1 million, give or take, but that was just one of many. He travels the world and sets up server for space. Very cool. Oh, I know what we'll call this one. Okay. There we go. So, desktop. I'm calling this guy Professor X because it's a mini PC with an X on it, and I thought that would be funny. Hosts. There you go. That'll do. So let's take a look at this. Okay, what do we got? Funny thing is, I owned a Nokia 7750 in the 90s and happen to work with the 7750 now. Again, but a completely different thing. Okay, there we go. K3S worker node 2. What do I have names for these? Where's my Firefox? 10. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let's go with this. What did I name this guy? K3S. Okay, so we're just gonna call this K3S worker node 2. Domain. Okay, so yeah, we're installing Debian 13 on this guy in the background. So this is going to be a Kubernetes worker node. Host name is K3S worker node 2. Cool. Sweet. Yes, write changes to disk. Cool. Not install. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Cool. Man, I should do more Saturday streams. You guys are just vibing. It's great. Just hanging out. Well, time for a stroll. Going to listen. Don't have access to chat from my phone. No worries. Have fun. I'll probably be signing off after I get this this little Debian worker node running. Let's go ahead and pop over here back to test bench so you can all see. How do are you from America? Me? I'm from Canada, which is north of America, north of the US. How about you? Alrighty, I'll see you next Thursday if I don't make it back. Sounds good. Thanks for hanging out, Tim. Nice catching up. I forget how to get a new node going. I'm from the UK. Ah, cool. I have I so when I first started this like whole YouTube thing, I figured all of my viewers were going to be like North American university students because I was a pretty big part of the Canadian like undergraduate computer science scene for a while. And so I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I've been a teaching assistant. My students will probably find me, and my content will most likely be relevant to students. That's going to be the jam, right? What is this? Participate? Yeah, sure. And so I thought that was going to be my audience. And then I started streaming and doing the YouTube thing. And nope. Nope. My audience is way, way more diverse than that. And it's really, really cool. Like I get to learn a lot from a lot of different people. And that's just been an absolute blast. Yeah, I don't need... Choose a Debian blend. I don't know anything about that. But we're just going to do SSH server and standard server utilities. That'll be great. Norway, UK, and Austria. Are most of my viewers from Europe? That's super cool. From France here. Manubis. Hello. Gintaris. Please feel free to fix my pronunciation. If you can write out your name phonetically and I've mispronounced it, let me know and I will do my best. How's it going? Lithuania. France, Lithuania, Norway, UK. Gin or Gin? Gin or Gin? Also from Norway. Got the stream in my recommended feed. That's super cool. It's 4 p.m. in the UK. You can't pronounce my name. Oui. Kyle, the Prime Euro streaming time for what it's worth. Ah, I see. Well, fun. All right. Installation is complete, so it is time to boot into your new system. Make sure to remove the installation media so that you boot into the new system rather blah, blah, blah. Yep. All right, cool. Continue. All right, I'm just gonna pull that out. Yeah. Should be good. Can you shortly explain what you are doing? Yeah, absolutely. So basically this morning, I had a power outage. The stream started with me. Let's do this. I had a power outage. The stream started with me today just trying to fix things because my IPs got shuffled because I was dumb enough to not set static DHCP leases on Kubernetes cluster stuff. So pretty big failure on my part, right? So I had to do some fixing. Luckily, we got through that within like the first hour. So since then, I'm kind of preparing some new stuff on my cluster. Because the goal is to run Jellyfin now within my Kubernetes cluster. And you may be asking to yourself, why would you do that to yourself? When you could just run it as a VM, you could run it bare metal. There are lots of ways that you could run Kubernetes that you could run Jellyfin easier without building it into your Kubernetes cluster. The reason is I home lab particularly to learn skills. It's what's like not just to serve things. Not that that's better or worse. It's just the way that I do it because I want to learn stuff. And I want to learn Kubernetes. So this configuration is going to be more complex than it needs to be if your goal was to serve stuff, but my goal is to learn Kubernetes, so we're going to be doing that. So I'm probably going to be wrapping up stream within the next 20 minutes or so. But basically, we got Kubernetes up and running again, which is pretty sweet after the mistake. As you can see, check this. Yeah, we got AdGuard running again. We got Argo CD running again. We got traffic running again. All is well and good in the cluster. But yeah, I'm basically setting up a new node in my cluster. So I just installed Debian 13 on this little mini PC. It's going to be the main Jellyfin running node because I'm going to pass in the iGPU. So I'm just getting it registered into the cluster and then we'll probably call it for today. But yeah. Okay, what do we got? So that's what we're up to. No, let's meet in the middle, but by foot. We're faster through Germany than by train. Man, I wish we had decent transportation here in North America. At least Canada's better than the US about it. Okay, cool. Let's jump back to the gang. Test bench. I see. Had you have no backups? Yeah. Yeah. Basically I started this home lab adventure about 2 months ago. We've been streaming for about 2 months weekly. And so it's just been like slowly building up. I What backups do I have configured right now? Nothing really. So that's another thing, but then you have to buy another storage device, and I don't have VPN configured. I would want my backup on, another network, which, we'll use my dad's network for, because he's also a bit of a home labber, and blah, blah, blah. But it's a bunch of work, and, one thing at a time. Southern side of the Alps. Very cool. Okay, anyways, we're going to continue on. Can you all see? Great. So this is our new Debian server. So I got to remember how to install Kubernetes. Okay. So let's do this. Put this over here. Okay. So let's jump back over here. And basically, I've got notes from the last time we did this. Kubernetes. That is so cool. I'm working at the moment on rebuilding my own home lab from scratch with all the knowledge that I gathered in the industry. That's awesome. Gonna settle with Docker Swarm mode instead of Kube though. Fair. Docker Swarm looks really cool, and I probably would have. Oh. I don't have my original notes because they're on my other PC. That's annoying. That's fine. I'll figure it out again. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Feel free to let us know how that goes. If you want to share and like participate in our little community, we do a bunch of home labby things, the lot of us. Feel free to join our Discord. No worries if not, though. Never any pressure here. Okay, so let's do K3S. What is K3S? I want to register a new node. Installation. There we go. So we're going to just follow all this jazz. If you wish to keep UFW enabled by default, the following rules are required. Yeah, whatever. Well, I always forget. There's all this stuff that needs to happen. Sorry if you see me flicking around multiple desktops. It's because I need to figure out where I'm going. We're gonna do this. Yeah. Okay. Apt update. Apt upgrade. Okay. Apt install sudo. Okay. Great. Always need me some Vim. Always. Okay. Can I just go back here? He's not in the sudoers. Oh wait, that's not gonna work. Okay. Do I care about this user very much? Not really. Apt purge nano. First thing to do on. You know what? I don't need nano. Let's do it. Yeah. Get that shit out of here. All right. What do I want to do here at this point? We need to register the worker. We apt updated and upgraded all that jazz. I'm just going to keep my notes. Initial config. So we did an apt update and apt upgrade. Apt install Vim. Next what? Poor nano. Spare nano, please. Never. Okay. What do we got? UFW is not even installed, so this isn't a problem. Should be fine. This is all fine. Large clusters, disks, network. I think we should be fine. Quick start guide. That's what I want. Okay. So
I just want to register. Okay. Here we go. To install additional agent nodes. That's what they called them, not workers. They called them agents. Hey, kid cool, how's it going? What? No UPS on mission critical server? Man, I'm new. UPSs are expensive. I just got a proper job. But don't worry, we got the UPS coming. We'll be solid soon. Might want to fix IP addresses. Yes, let's do that right now, actually. So we got IPA. Where are we on? This guy is 20. Okay, I'm just gonna do this off screen because I don't want to expose my routery things. But let's definitely do that. Jump into. Oh wait, no, I don't want Firefox for this. Let's go Chromium. My bean field. Okay, home internet and Wi-Fi. Yeah, and we're just gonna set this guy to static, or static DHCP lease. Yeah, DHC. There are no DHCP leases. False. It's okay. It's just taking a second to load. There we go. Actually, this should be fine. Should be fine to show. Oh, right. My big screen isn't on screen right now. We have the other guy. Okay. So I should see K3S worker node 2. Yep. And we're going to assign reserved IP address. Why not configure static addresses on VMs? I do not trust DHCPs in prod environment for servers. That seems reasonable to me too. I haven't done it yet. So usually the answer to the question, why not do it sensible thing, is just because it hasn't occurred to me. I'm like very new. Well, maybe not very new, but I'm not an expert in networking and things like that. I come mostly from like a software background. I did a computer science degree where largely I learned programming. So networking is generally a new thing to me, and I'm sort of just doing my best. So if you have a best practice that I haven't thought of or I'm not currently doing, the answer to why aren't you doing it is probably I didn't know, or I haven't had the time to set it up. That's usually why. Okay, how do I get... Okay, a single node server installation is a fully functional Kubernetes cluster, including all the data store, blah, blah, blah. To install additional agent nodes, add them to the cluster, run the installation script with the K3S URL and the K3S token environment variables. Here's an example doing that. So I need to grab those from my head node. Okay. So let's jump back. Thinking back, you had power outage. If your router is gone with single DHCP server that you got, every VM server gets no IP address. Was that what happened for you? Not exactly. The router came back up online, but it shuffled all of the IP addresses because they were all dynamic leases, right? So that was basically the situation. For a server room where a guy is the central authority on subnets, VLANs, and IP addresses, static as usual. In a home lab, let static leases from a central DHCPD guy, or DHCPD be the guy. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, because like I don't want to have to SSH into every machine to adjust the IP addresses from the host. I'd rather centrally configure it from one DHCP server with static leases. That's going to be my approach. Okay, where was I? I want to open up the head node. And I need to grab K3S URL and K3S token. Want to store it here. Echo. Whoops. Yes. Where's K3S setting? Where's K3S URL? It's just the IP address. Okay, sweet. And the token. Can I SCP that? I can probably SCP that, right? What is the SCP command for this? TLDR SCP. Yeah, there we go. SCP remote host colon thing path to local directory. Okay, great. So let's see if I can do that. You're all seeing this. Awesome. So we're going to do a SCP. You can use Ansible for host configuration. I saw Proxmox. You can use Cloud.init to configure static. Also, one more setup you can take is use Terraform or OpenTofu to store your infrastructure as code. Yeah, I agree. I will be doing a bunch of Ansible stuff soon. I just haven't. I'm looking forward to it. Cloud.init is a good idea. That is a good idea. I also have a mix, right? It's not so Proxmox is one thing, but I've also got some like just bare metal. So we got an interesting mix here. Okie dokie. Nathan at remote host, which is 10.88.111.42. And then we're gonna go colon path / var lib rancher k3s server node token, and then we can put it here. Node token. Yes. Oh, wrong user. Really? Let's take a look at this. Only bad thing about SCP is when your SSHD is on a custom port. SSH-P is SCP-P with a big P. Oh, interesting. I think SSH is still 22. ls / var lib rancher k3s server. Node token's right there. Node token is right there. Can I SSH? Is this the problem? K3s at 10.88.111.42. I can SSH. var lib rancher k3s. Ah, there we go. K3s was denied permission. And if you enable key auth, SCP does autocomplete on tab. Ooh, really cool. I have 6 small servers that I use as Ceph endpoints separated from 3 physical Proxmox small nodes. Ansible really helps a lot in managing them. Also, Cloud.init allows you to provision SSH keys. That's a good idea. Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, I definitely will be going down the Ansible route soonish. I'm at a point where we've got 3 nodes in the cluster plus a NAS plus Proxmox itself. We're getting to the point where Ansible is really going to be necessary to manage all this. Okay, so I didn't have permissions, and I doubt I can SSH this way. So you know what I can do? What can I do? SCP specific port, copy a file from a remote host to a local directory, copy a local file to a remote host. Well, maybe we can do that. SCP var lib rancher k3s server node token, right? Is that all right? Looks good to me. And then we'll put this on a remote host, which is going to be this machine, k3s, I think k3s. Oh, I need the IP address of this, which I think was 10.88.111.20. Path / what is it? Is it home? Yeah. Well, let's do home / k3s and then node token. Permission denied. Yes. Oh, it's going via root, so we probably want to do k3s at. Okay, looks like that worked. ls/home/k3s. We got the node token. Great. Building from scratch, I'm at the point now of setting up Ansible Terraform. Only later services are going to happen. I respect that. That's a very measured approach. I had a lot of things I wanted to learn. So here's my rationale. Let's do a quick chat. Here's my rationale for not going the Ansible route on day one. I think of infrastructure as code as a lot of conveniences and wrappers on the fundamentals, which are just Linux, Unix, and networking. And if you know your Unix and your networking really, really well, then the infrastructure as code stuff is a really fantastic tool to learn to make your life easier. But if you don't, you're learning essentially networking in Unix through an abstraction, and that can muddle your learning. I wanted to learn how to do it myself from fundamentals first by just sort of doing all of this stuff you're seeing right now. And then once I get a solid handle on my Unix, on my networking, then I can move to infrastructure as code stuff, where looking through the lens of the abstraction, I already know the fundamentals. So the abstraction, I'm learning the abstraction. I'm not trying to learn the abstraction and the fundamentals through the lens of the abstraction at the same time. Does that make sense? So that's kind of what I'm doing. Looks interesting what you got here, though. Have not seen live home labbers at all. Yeah, I think there's not a lot of this. So cool. I get a niche. It's been super fun, honestly. More people should do this. Okay. So now we can do our K3S stuff. So let's go ahead and jump back to test bench and grab this command. So we're going to do a curl. Do we have curl? Apt install curl. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to do curl -sfl https get.k3s.io. And we're going to pipe k3s URL equals https my server, which is going to be 111.111.42.6443. And we're going to go k3s token equals, and then I think I can do a command substitution for cat here. 100% agree. If you want to get good at Kate's, master Docker before. Get good at Docker. Question mark. Know what Linux userlands in base images do before? It's a path from the bottom up. Yes, exactly. That's the way I think about it. We want to take the path from the bottom up. Because yeah, like if you don't know your basic networking, and then you start playing with Docker and you're trying to figure out port mappings and things like that, it can be really messy. You know what I mean? And so that was kind of what I wanted to do. KPS node token. I know this is really small. Does this command substitution look like it's going to work? I think it will, but it might add a new line. So I'm a little bit worried about that. It might add a new line. I think before I do this, let's just see if I can do this. Export token equals this. Yep, will work. Don't worry about the /n. Oh, okay. Hey, look at that. I'm learning. When we first started, one of the things I really wanted to do was get good at Bash, you know? Because I haven't had a lot of opportunity to learn. You don't really need to learn Bash if you're just like in any sort of intense capacity. If you're just running desktop Linux, you know? So I really didn't. Let's try this. But through the home labbing, I've been getting better with my sed, with command substitution, with cool things like that, and I'm really proud of it. Really, really quite happy about all that. Okay, let's jump back here. And we're gonna do a cube control get pods. Nope, we're gonna get nodes. Worker node 2! Woo! So we'll probably need to apply roles to that. But this is as simple as Kate. Well, it was. Let's grab this line. SSH'd into the head node and SCP'd the node token from /var/ is it var lib or is it just var rancher? Ah, whatever. Var rancher var lib. Yep, var lib rancher. Var lib rancher k3s server node server and then node token. And then we got this guy. Curl. Oh, we did a apt install curl. This curl 10.88.111.42 k3s node token was c2. Do that cat node token. Shit. All right, sweet. How well do you know fundamentals? Because if you're going straight into cube, that is some jump. Needs work, but I'm learning along the way. It's you got to do something, right? Like I have to. My philosophy is you have to host something you're going to use because otherwise it's just a toy. You need to care about the maintenance of the thing you're building because then you'll throw it away. Otherwise you'll throw it away. This Kubernetes cluster went down. And I cared about that because I was using the services. So I had to fix it. And that learning how to fix it was part of my learning. I've run Docker setups in my home lab before with some services. And I've taken a networking course in the past. I'm as far as desktop Linux goes, been using that for almost 10 years. But diving deeper into the home lab is getting fun. So, weird. We forgot to install lolcat on the new system. Let's do it. Oops. Yeah, so I would by no means call myself an expert in systems administration, but like to be honest, I do AWS, ECS, and EKS stuff at work. So learning Kubernetes at home has been helping me a lot at work as well. So got to do something, right? And registering all these nodes and all of that jazz has been really helpful in learning the basics of networking as well. Because, yeah, I see. Background gives some perspective. You forgot to put nano purge into a list. True. All right, let's lolcat. What do we have? What do we have to lolcat? Lol. Might as well do the token. You guys aren't ever going to be on my network anyways. What do we do? User. Nope. Home. K3s. Oh, we'll do our bash RC. Huh? Did we not? Oh, what's the thing again? Hey, Sam, how's it going? Echo alias cat user games lolcat. Ah, yeah. Let's do it. Echo alias cat equals user games lolcat, and we'll pipe that into bash RC. Okay. What the? Oh. Let's go ahead and source our bash RC. There we go. Sweet. How's it going, Sam? Needs a relogin or a source. Okay, cool. So we've got our new node. and it's registered. We just want to give it some roles. I forget how that works. Kubernetes apply role to node. It's probably something like kube control set role equals blah, and then you name the node. That'll probably do it. Instead of source, instead of source. Oh, interesting. You don't have to source it. Cool. So we can describe nodes. Oh, let's go ahead and jump back to, where's this guy? Want to do boom. Nope, that's just my face. There we go. We don't need this open anymore. This can go. Just throw that over there. No, okay. You can replace source by a simple dot. Cool. Good to know. Okay, so how do we apply a role? You can set optional node roles for nodes by adding one or more node-role blah labels to the node where characters of role are limited by the syntax rules for labels. Kubernetes ignores the label value for node roles by convention. The label value for node roles by convention, you can set it the same string. Okay. Register node, register with taints. Node labels to add when registering the node in the cluster. Okay, so we didn't do any of that, but I'm sure we can sort of jump back and do that. There are two main ways to have nodes added to the API server. The kubelet on a node self-registers the control plane. Would have been nice to handle these manifests ourselves. Resource capacity tracking. Okay, legit. This has to be simpler. Cordon. Kube control get nodes. How do I set role, man? Kube control set role of node. Kube control label node. There we go. Kube control label node. What the heck is going on with this? I'm guessing that's the name of his node. Node, yeah. So let's go K3S worker node 2 node role.kubernetes.io slash and then that gives worker. Okay, so I mean, I'm glad that you're Googling and not ChatGPTing. I do a little mix, to be completely honest. Sometimes it's just useful to have that in a conversation. Or like if I don't understand anything at all, I'll be like, explain a little bit of this with sources and whatnot. Helpful. You're going to allow Kube to handle storage, or you're going to have external storage. So I have my NAS already, and I'm managing that all with ZFS. So I think, but what I want to do, one of the things we were sort of looking at earlier today was this democratic CSI, which can let Kubernetes create ZFS datasets for your PVCs, for your PVs and PVCs. So I'm interested in that. That's probably going to be a stream for next week. Okay. You can delete custom role, label node, blah, blah, blah. Interesting. Kube label node equals, but this works though, and it seems simpler and more elegant. This command removed the master role from my 3Kates node. Okay. Node dash. A node role is just a label with the format node-role.kubernetes.io role. So I don't need to say worker equals worker, right? I should just be able to do this. Nope. At least one label update is required. Okay. That's all well and good. Let's do the other one, because that would be useful for all of these to be labeled appropriately. Work node. Okay, so what happens if I do IO and then we name it something else? Like, what if we say Bob equals Bob? Okay. Just Bob Bob. Cool. Can I remove? Like if I do this and overwrite is dash false. So what does this do? So it's a, oh, okay. Do labels, there's the label itself. Think of the label as the key, and then there's a value, right? So it's like key value pairs. But when we're doing roles, role is the key, I assume. Wait, what happened to your PVE after a power loss? Just shortly. Not actually. Proxmox was fine. Proxmox was fine. I guess Proxmox probably statically sets its own IP. That's what I'm gonna guess its like default installation is. So Proxmox was chilling. It was just the VMs, my NAS, well, basically everything else. Yeah. So not too bad. A node role is just a label. Yeah. I get it. I get it. You shouldn't use role anymore. Role name equals, yeah. Remove role. Sweet. Okay, so we've got two things. Yeah, it does. Static IP. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So let's do a kube control get node, and then we're going to do a kube control label node K3s worker node 2. And then we're going to do node-role.kubernetes.io / and we're just going to call this iGPU equals iGPU. And the reason I want that is because I want this labeled as a worker node with iGPU, so that when we set up Jellyfin, Jellyfin can select for only nodes with iGPU. That's the game plan. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in our notes. Installing. We're going to do setting up labels. Kubernetes labels. Whoops. This guy. Cool. Don't need that. Sweet. So now we've got a new node in our cluster. And we're chilling. We're chilling. I think that's where we're going to stop things today. We're in a good sorts. We fixed our cluster. We added a new node. We sort of mapped out some stuff for how we're going to handle using our NAS more effectively in conjunction with our Kubernetes cluster. We've also looked at Jellyfin stuff a little bit, and I think we're pretty happy with all that. I think this has been a highly successful day. Yeah, that's pretty much all. It's about time I go paid attention to my girlfriend. She is up, and I want brunch. That's where we're at. Just feeling like hanging out. This is a good morning. Thank you all so much for participating in stream, for all of your help, for all of your good vibes and attention. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you all on Thursday or in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord and would like to be part of it, hey Tim, welcome back. If you're not in the Discord and would like to be, because you're interested in hanging out with some more home labbers or getting notifications when I upload a video or stream or whatever, links in the chat. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. You too, Kyle.